Today on T.N.T. Garage, we go full 70s porn star mechanic, and we're going to take the old RedRam and do a little maintenance, a couple of upgrades I think you'll like on this old truck. If you'd like to see a little bit of content on the Orange Blossom Express here, the moneymaker, the modifications I did that you can kind of see, go ahead and let me know. But for now, let's do it. Alright guys, this looks a lot different than my driveway. That's because I'm down at the shop, the business I work at. Luckily I can come in here and work as long as I clean up and everything. So we get to stay out of the rain today. It's dreary out, 40 something degrees, drizzly. I'm not going to play in that. So I know last week I said I was going to work on the wiring for the car. That requires me pulling it out, not doing that in the rain. So we got a trailer full of stuff that I'll walk you guys through. I'm going to do a couple things to the trailer, a couple things to the truck. I'll try to keep the video short. If not, I'll cut her down in 2 pieces. So let's do it. All right, we're going to start out with the stuff for the truck. Right here, looks a little dingy, but this is a Jags off-road Y-pipe. You see there's no catalyst in there, but there's both oxygen sensor bungs. Since, you know, this is going to be an off-road only truck in an area that also does an emissions test, we'll be just fine. And we'll do a little before and after the sound of the truck, because honestly it's too quiet, even though I do have a single chamber Flowmaster on it. But we're going to start with service on the truck. We're going to do the Y-pipe, and I got that little extension piece in case I need it. And then got me primer and some paint, some scuffy pads and some tape. What we're going to do is we're going to pop taillights out here, because this being a sport, this black area is supposed to be red, and I got some aftermarket LEDs. The only ones that I really like that are aftermarket because they look stock. They're just better lights. So we're going to do that right now. Getting the oil drained out of the truck here, and she's about due. I don't even remember the last time I changed it. I know I don't put really anything for miles on it, but it's probably been a good 6 months. So I change it. I always use synthetic in this, so it ain't a big deal. But the really nice part about working at the shop, get one of these nice oil caddies here that pretty much covers the entire floor. So if you do make a mess, well, I guess that's just on you. So this keeps everything clean and tidy, eliminates all the screwing around at the end. So we'll get the filter spun off, get her topped up with oil, and jump to the next project. Well, we got the oil dumped in her, new filter on her, and one thing I want to talk to you guys about is what filter you use. Now, if it's something you daily drive, even something you don't care about but you want to run, use the best filter you can. I personally use Wix filters. Obviously, I don't get any money for this, but I've been using these since 2007 or so. Good save. And these have just been great filters. Take them apart, you can see they're put together well. Usually I use a regular one, but the only one they had in stock was this here XP, and 51085 I use on all my Chrysler vehicles, pretty much everyone that ever existed, and I follow it up with some synthetic oils. So if you care, put a good filter on it. You know the ones I'm talking about that you shouldn't use, that are got the special grip on it. Might be some sort of lighter red in between yellow shade. Don't use those. Use a good filter. All right, that part's done, the oil and everything. So we're going to tackle the Y-pipe. We're going to get the old one off. I'll show you the exhaust quick, and then measure it out and all that, give you a before start up and a little bit of a pop on the throttle, and then an after. So let's get to it. Also, here's what we got for exhaust. I never did get around to putting tailpipes over the axle, so we just have turn downs, extensions into the single chamber muffler, And that goes to the factory Y pipe. I'm glad I used a band clamp actually, because that'll make this a lot easier to disassemble. And that goes up in the old factory cat, and we're just gonna go ahead and cut the bolts and get that out. Well, we got the old Y pipe out. I cut it to get it out of the truck. Gonna probably have to heat those up a little bit on the bungs, get the O2s out. I'll have to use that extension, so we'll buzz that on, throw the O2s in, and the nice thing about this Y pipe, there's a slip here, so I can heat that up, get it out, make it easier to install in the truck and get everything lined up. So we'll go to hurry up mode and kind of go through this. Well, we got her put together, got our oxygen sensors in. We'll slide her up in under the truck. We'll put her together, slap her up. One thing I always do, I don't know if you guys do it, but I did have a bit of an exhaust leak at the manifold on the old Y pipe. I'm hoping it's a Y pipe anyway. And what I always do is I get some of this copper RTV. This is, you know, high temp stuff meant for exhaust and whatnot, and I always put a good amount of that, you know, where it meets here, and that way you eliminate any exhaust leaks. And then because I'm using a band clamp at the back, I'll actually put some RTV around that and then the clamp to keep any and all exhaust leaks at bay. So I said we were going to do hurry up mode when I welded that. Well, the camera fell forward on my phone and kind of ruined the shot. So we'll get hurry up as we slap this into the truck. I think she sounds a little better. I don't hear any ticky tick up here. It's always a plus. That's why I use that RTV. Now, one of these days I'll get her in, get the tailpipes put on her. She sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of funny. You can see it hazing a little bit. This Y pipe I had on my 96 Ram, and that thing burnt a lot of oil. So whatever is caked in that Y pipe is now just burning off, and she'll run clean. So let's carry on with the projects. Well, on to the next project. I was gonna do the tail lights, but it's still raining out, and maybe I'll wait till we get the truck home so I could just leave the tail lights sit inside. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead, put this jack on, and then we're gonna put some new coupler guts in here. You can see this is an ancient old coupler. There's really no lock on it, and it will pop up at any time because it did pop off on me. So we'll go ahead and show you guys that in just a second. All right, we're gonna start with putting the jack on. So we're going to grab the jack. One thing I noticed with this is the pin back here, I don't know how well you guys can see that, goes like that. Now I don't know if I want to clearance something in the tongue here so that has room, or just leave it be and weld her tight. But either way, you want to have this flange go underneath the tongue. That way it supports some of the weight and not just your weld on the side. So we're going to go ahead and get the flap wheel. And I think I want the jack, right about there. So I'm going to basically center it over this hole. So we're going to get the flap wheel out and clean all that up. Get to it. Did our battery die? Well, son of a bitch. I'll be right back. We gotta throw another battery in here. All right. Yeah, there we go. This one might go a little better. Well, we should have a pretty good spot right there for the weld. We're just gonna clean up the old jack here quick. Make sure we can get a good weld on that. There we go. This is more awkward than it looks, but there we go. I'll get her turned so I can get the other side. There. Now, get this cleaned up. Now, of course, we're going to want to make a nice ground for our weld. There we go. So, going to put this on here, you can almost help yourself a little bit, because after all, it is a jack. So you get her there, and this will take forever probably to get her wound down. But we'll use the jack to support itself while we go ahead and weld her on. Like I said, this might take a minute. Just sitting around, jacking around, you know. Get the little box out of the way there. There. That's about perfect. Pull that pin out. So I'm going to want to clean up the back side here, I can see, because it's sticking up just a little bit and we want the weld to stick there especially. There we go. That'll give us actually a pretty good area there. And what I'm going to do is once I get to welding this, I'm going to tack it down on both sides here, and then I'll be able to flex, pull the pin to where we can get it up there nice and tight, nice and flat. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the welder. We'll go to hurry up mode and just zip this on. Well, we got most of the welding on. She's pretty solid. I just got to clean up a booger on the other side that got in there. Makes it hard for you to swing the jack. Now, I'm not a professional welder. I'm sure everyone has their things to say about welding, but as long as you get good penetration and it's gonna stick, it works. So that's on there pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and lift it up and burn the rest in underneath, and then we'll move you over to showing you how to take care of that coupler. Alright guys, that was kind of fun getting that jack out of there. So right now I could take this bolt out, but it's pretty well rusted, so we're just going to buzz it here, blow it apart. So then we'll get to putting the coupler in. There we go. Figured it would have just fell right out, but there. Oh, there we go. Let's see what's left of the coupler here. Get it out of its home. A little bugger. Come on. Just nothing wants to work with me today. Just always something, isn't it? Oh. Get a good look up in under here. I know you come in because you go out. Get this old spring off here, might help. How are you? No, you wouldn't think you gotta blow that pin out. I know you don't actually. I know this thing's had new guts in it before. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Look at our new coupler kit here. Yeah, see, this one's gonna swing up and over that, so maybe if I just nip that one out, or we just take these guts and put it in there. So I'm gonna see what we can do with that. Grab another pair of pliers. Maybe we can get that yanked apart. Now, what might we do here? I could realistically blow this off and put a bolt in it. I mean, it'd be safer just do new parts. So, why don't we do that? We got the torch out, it's available. We'll shred some steel, you know. I don't know if that got it or not, but we'll find out. Yep, there we go. There. Now we can grab what's left of this. That's what we were getting out there. It's the lower part of the coupler. Now, with the new kit, oh man. Ooh, I don't want to sit on the torch. That wouldn't be fun. So, I'll go ahead and back you guys up a little bit. There we go. So what we're going to do is install this new coupler. And we'll probably throw a bolt through that because you need something to support the back in order for it to couple on the ball correctly. So just to make sure we line up. Yeah, it will. I don't know if you could see it as well as I can, but I'm lining it up in here in the tongue and dropping it down just to make sure this is going to capture a bolt through there. Because if you have nothing pivoting, you got nothing locking it to the ball. So, in your general assembly here. And the nice thing is, I've seen other kits out there that don't have this piece. This is what's going to be locking your coupler, and you can slide a pin through, which is one thing I really wanted in replacing this coupler. So, we have our new nut and spring, everything we need. I'll throw a bolt in there, and we'll go ahead and get this assembled. Let's see here. Do I want a bigger bolt or no? Oh no, that's perfect. Just like that. So now we have the bolt that's going to allow us to pivot this. So below your plate here, you want to have this spring, which is going to go, this is all going to be inside, but this is a general idea. You're going to have this, and then below here you're going to put that spring and your lock nut. So we're going to drop this down in, just like that. We're going to get this bad boy up and in to where she's captured, just like that. So that's going to work. So, set that off to the side right now because you don't want to forget the spring. I'm going to try and keep my knee out of your guys' vision here. So now, it's always the fun part, is getting it squeezed all together. Especially with the coupler being hot, so that's always fun. Actually, what we'll do, we're going to cheat and pull the bolt back out. And then we could slide the bolt in to help capture it. So, spring, spoon, whatever y'all call it. Bolt. There. We got that captured now. And we can go ahead, put this plate in, then our spring. Actually, it goes like that. Then our spring and nut. And then you go ahead and adjust it on when you have it on the ball. So, why wouldn't you drop the spring? There we go. Got the plate up and in. They really make you work for it, I tell you. Yeah. There we go. And now, I think I need to make some clearance here. Need clearance, because what's happening is she's not dropping through like she should. So I'm gonna have to go in there, get some material out just so we can make it work. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with that, but that's basically how you install one of these. Of course, you want this to ride up and down, so I'll have to blow it back apart and see if we can't get that figured out. Well, that was enough work for one day. Got the Y pipe on the truck, got the new tongue jack on a trailer to replace the mangled one, and we got the coupler rebuilt because that did pop off on me last weekend. It jumped up, thank God. You always run safety chains, but I figured good time to rebuild the coupler to where it actually locks. So we got that done. A couple things I didn't get done. I wanted to get done today was, of course, get the taillight surrounds painted on the truck to match because it's a sport. But with the dreary weather, I just didn't want to mess with it. And I also didn't get the headers for the Camaro stripped, painted, and prepped so we can go ahead and throw some exhaust wrap on them. So this was kind of an odds and ends video anyway. Just because being a crap day and raining outside, I really couldn't get to the Camaro or its wiring. So hopefully the weather works with me to where I can get the wiring out of the car, and then we'll do it in here to where we marry the wiring from the Camaro to the Vortec and everything will work. OBD2 port and all that. I will probably have another video on the odds and ends stuff, like doing the taillights on the truck or doing the headers. I think that's one thing that I really not enough of out there is stripping and prepping headers, because most of them, when you order them, have just a shipping coat on it. It's just a light paint, burns right off as soon as you put them on and fire up the engine. Now the reason being that I'm going to strip and paint them first is that we're going to wrap the headers. So I'll show you guys how I strip headers. I use aircraft stripper to take the paint off and pressure wash them, and then scuff them up, go ahead and put high temp paint on it, and then we'll go ahead and wrap them. But I want to have enough time for the headers to cure when I bake them for us to put the wrap on, so I could show you guys that. So, I mean, other than those little projects we got done today, hopefully this video wasn't too drawn out or just monotonous, but just an odds and ends video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe if you watch the video. Leave a comment, tell me what I'm doing wrong or tell me what I'm doing right, or you hate me, you love me. It doesn't matter to me. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, even if you just catch a little bit. So hopefully you guys have a great evening, and I need a shower. So thanks for watching T.N.T. Garage, and we'll catch you next week.